Welcome to Mars Weather. We'll start with the latest surface conditions before diving into the three-sol forecast. Perseverance operates at Jezero Crater, where on Sol 1955 of the mission it drove 9.4 meters, bringing its total odometer to 44.98 kilometers. The climatological model estimates today's high temperature at -21 degrees and a low of -78 degrees, with winds reaching 79 kilometers per hour, pressure at 7.8 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 1.1. Perseverance provides this Mastcam-Z photo from Sol 1956 of the mission. Curiosity operates at Gale Crater, where on Sol 4989 of the mission it drove 25.3 meters, bringing its total odometer to 38.09 kilometers. That update is already 3 days old, so the rover has most likely not moved since. The climatological model estimates today's high temperature at -26 degrees and a low of -73 degrees, with winds reaching 54 kilometers per hour, pressure at 8.9 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.82. Ju-Rhone was last confirmed at Utopia Planitia, where the last published traverse record puts it at 1.92 kilometers in total on Sol 347 of the mission, and no later movement has been reported. The climatological model estimates today's high temperature at -39 degrees and a low of -81 degrees, with winds reaching 94 kilometers per hour, pressure at 8.9 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 1.38. InSight ended its mission at Elysium Planitia. As a stationary lander, it never drove, so it has no traverse distance and no odometer at all. The climatological model estimates today's high temperature at -27 degrees and a low of -74 degrees, with winds reaching 60 kilometers per hour, pressure at 7.7 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.99. Sol 631 brings daytime highs averaging -29 degrees, with the warmest reading of -21 at Perseverance location. The sky is dominated by a dust storm, with dust optical depth peaking at 1.38 over Ju-Rhone location. Winds reach 114 kilometers per hour at Olympus Mons location. Overnight lows average -79 degrees, dipping to -102 at Olympus Mons location. Daytime temperatures gradually cool, while overnight lows remain stable. Dust optical depth slightly decreases, but winds intensify, maintaining stormy conditions. Pressure is 7.8 millibars at Ju-Rhone location. Visibility is 3 kilometers at Ju-Rhone location, and water vapor is 9.3 micrometers at Ju-Rhone location. Temperatures continue to cool slightly, while dust activity remains high over the next 5 sols. The crossings of Phobos and Deimos across the disk of Mars follow next. The first Phobos crossing of the apparent disk of Mars lasts 61 minutes, happening from 4:59 in the morning to 6 in the morning in Los Angeles, where Mars is above the horizon, from 7:59 in the morning to 9 in the morning in New York, where Mars is above the horizon, and from 12:59 in the afternoon to 2 in the afternoon in London, where Mars is above the horizon. The next Phobos crossing of the apparent disk of Mars lasts 60 minutes, occurring between 12:40 in the afternoon and 1:40 in the afternoon in Los Angeles with Mars above the horizon, and between 3:40 in the afternoon and 4:40 in the afternoon in New York with Mars above the horizon, while Mars is below the horizon in London. The first Deimos crossing of the apparent disk of Mars lasts 60 minutes, taking place from 1:50 in the morning to 2:50 in the morning in London, where Mars is above the horizon, while Mars is below the horizon in Los Angeles and New York. The next Phobos crossing of the apparent disk of Mars lasts 50 minutes, running from 4:20 in the morning to 5:10 in the morning in London, where Mars is above the horizon, while Mars is below the horizon in Los Angeles and New York. The next Phobos crossing of the apparent disk of Mars lasts 50 minutes, happening from 4 in the morning to 4:50 in the morning in Los Angeles, where Mars is above the horizon, from 7 in the morning to 7:50 in the morning in New York, where Mars is above the horizon, and from 12 noon to 12:50 in the afternoon in London, where Mars is above the horizon. Mars is currently in the constellation Gemini. For observers in New York, Mars rises at 1:52 in the morning and sets at 4:58 in the afternoon. Thanks for watching Mars Weather.
See you next time.